Good evening, everyone. This is Kiss Allen. I am Chicago motivated, and I wanted to drop a quick logistical message as it pertains to CPS enrollment days starting Monday, May 15th through Friday, May 19th. From a logistical standpoint, CPS will be sending students to Truman College that are in line to enroll at one of the seven city colleges over a 5 day period. So if you can imagine, each day there'll be a different group of students coming to Truman College in particular. So one of the things I'll do is I'll start there by sharing that particular schedule. On Monday, May 15th, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., we'll have Alcott with 25 students. On Tuesday, as you can see here, between 9 and 11, we have two schools, Calvin Park and Roosevelt, which total 55 students. Wednesday, there's some stagnant times here. So essentially from 10 to 1, we'll have two schools on campus, Mather and Chicago Math and Science Academy. On Thursday, the same thing, between 9 and 12 on this day, you'll have Sullivan and Sin. And then on Friday, we have the middle college. Those times are stagnant in terms of when they'll show up on campus. The larger part of this opportunity, let me stop sharing here. The larger part of this opportunity is that per district, we need to get as many of these students enrolled in a class as we possibly can. So one of the things the admissions team is working on are all the back room details, making sure holds are removed, really trying to verify whether or not financial aid is updated, whether they have their award letters and such. So that our ultimate goal is to get them into the advising and registration room to get a class on their schedule. The thought is they enter the McKeon lobby on said time, said days. CPS will have a table set up to check in students who said that they were coming, and then the team from CPS would confirm that. Around the corner, there'd be a CCC table manned by one of the admission specialists that simply takes that document that they're given from CPS and matches it to what they've already completed. Now, our checklist breaks down whether or not you have holds, whether or not you've completed financial aid, whether or not you've tested, whether or not you've gone through registration. The goal is for us to create that document for the student and then allow the student, after a brief sit and get where we'll set the tone for the day, allow that student to move throughout the McKeon building according to what they need to do. So for instance, if they need to check on their financial aid award letter, there's a color-coded dot on the checklist that we provide here at Truman, and they'll be able to go to that dot in the McKeon building and get their questions answered about financial aid. Or testing shouldn't be a question, but there's a dot on there for testing. I'll go back. Our ultimate goal, if there are holds, then there's someone there from the admissions team to expedite and remove those holds. I'll go back to the ultimate goal in that 2-hour period for those schools is for students to sit and register in a class prior to leaving. From a resource perspective, I want to start by thanking you all. Anytime that we ask that you come out, you highlight your programs and such, we've done an excellent job of doing that. Part of the issue, and if anybody knows me, know that the glass is always half full. Part of the issue that I ran into was because of those differentiated time points, I did not want to ask, let's say, for instance, career. Career, I need you there Monday from 10 to 12. I need you there Tuesday from 9 to 11. I need you there Wednesday from 10 to 12, well, from 10 to 1. I did not want to do that. In terms of time and availability, as we close out some of the end of the year things, I wanted to be mindful of that. And so here was the thought that because from an admission standpoint, our ultimate goal is to get them over into our first year experience, then that would be the vocal point of the resource. SDEC, transitioning them into first year experience, introducing them to those opportunities, and right in the McKeon lobby. And then on the outskirts, there are tables available, and not the outskirts, right in the middle of McKeon lobby. There are tables available for resources that want to highlight on particular days. So be mindful if you are available every day, and let me reshare this schedule. If you are available every day during these time periods, which I'll share this, then yes, there's going to be an ability to sign up for every day saying, listen, I need a table set up in the McKeon lobby for every day during these particular times, and I will have someone there to man the table. If not, there'll be enough tables in the lobby where, for instance, Trio can say, hey, Kisalan, I know I have someone available Tuesday from 9 to 11, which will be the bulk of the students. And then I'll have someone on Thursday from 9 to 12, which will be the bulk of the students. I'm going to sign up here. There'll be a table there where you can come, put out your information, have someone there manning the table and answering questions about that particular resource. If not, there's also an opportunity, because students, may get an opportunity within that 2-hour period to go through there, that you don't have someone physically there, but you've put a table together with information, maybe with a QR code and things like that, where students are directed to go up and interact via the QR code and kind of interact with your office that way. From a resource perspective, guys, I want to say, and let me stop sharing. I want to say that, yes, I think it is important that we highlight all of our resources. In terms of your availability, I did not want to dictate what your availability was, because I didn't have any, how can we say it, static, any set time, every day, all day, I need you this, right? No, it was all a dynamic type of schedule, and it was all over the place. And so this was the thought that would give you an opportunity to participate at the pace in which you could participate, either in person or create a virtual setup, because there will be tables there for you to use all five days through all time frames. Your physical presence is when you are available and when somebody else is in your office is available. That is the thought in terms of how the event will take place. There'll be a room specifically set up for Truman students who are going to Truman, where they can come in, grab some swag, so forth and so on. District is providing lunch, book bags, and T-shirts for these students. So they'll be in a pretty good mood. From a resource perspective, I feel like I want to make sure I hit this home. Yes, there is available space per each time for someone in your department to come and participate in the resource fair on a daily basis. But if that's not a possibility, then there's also space for you to set up QR codes, marketing materials, so that a student can hit that and reach out to you. In particular, we're talking about Truman students. Right now, out of the 400 some odd students that are due to come over the period, not necessarily 400, but out of the students that are due to come here, there's probably about 30 29 to 30% of those students who will be actual Truman students. Okay. I hope this video helps. My team will be available, both Lisette Diaz and Ann Mitchell will be available for questions around this vendor opportunity and this resource opportunity. So please feel free to reach out to them. What you'll see included with this video is the schedule. And if you could just briefly take a moment to say, hey, for instance, I'll say you, Tony, hey, my team is available on this day, in person or virtually. I'll put that together, and then you let me know. The table will be there, ready to go with a tablecloth. And so then just the expectations would be that you are out there and ready to go on those days, or that you have a virtual presence, or in this instance, maybe you just don't have an opportunity to participate on that day. But that'll be it. If you, as mentioned, if you had any additional questions, please feel free to reach out directly to Ann Mitchell or Lisette Diaz on Friday as we roll into the event. Monday will be a huge day where we can kind of litmus test how it'll go for the rest of the week. We don't have very many students. And as mentioned, the ultimate goal here is to get those 25 students enrolled in some course throughout the day. So if it's a matter of how fast they go through that process, or if it's a matter of them being in that process for the entire 2 hours, then, factor that in as well. Okay. I'll be available via email on Friday. But once again, if you need someone to immediately respond to any questions, Ann Mitchell and Lisette Diaz will be available. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful meeting. And I love everybody. I see y'all. Peace.